I don't know if everybody's heard, there's a woman in Baltimore County who shot her husband because allegedly there were multiple complaints about her daycare where he was molesting the children at the daycare. She continued to ask him on their trip to DC, did he molest the children? He just completely ignored her. When they got to the hotel, she barricaded herself in there. She shot him. She didn't kill him. Well, she says she didn't try to kill him. She shot him in his head and his leg. And he's currently recovering in a hospital.
In his head and in his leg?
He shot him in the head and leg.
His head.
Right, so I'm saying his head and his leg.
So the question is, how would you feel if you were in that position? How would you be able to trust? Would you be able to date someone again? Do you think she did wrong? Because she was arrested. They actually just issued a warrant for his arrest, but he's still in the hospital. But he's also a former cop. So her reputation smeared, his reputation smeared. These kids are going to suffer trauma. And how would you feel if you have to look at children's parents or people going forward when this took place? How would you go about this? Like anybody?
Like morally, of course, you're gonna look at her like, oh, she's the hero. She did, what she felt like she needed to do. However, she didn't catch him in the act of doing something. So her shooting him was after the fact. You know what I mean? It was a crime of passion, whatever. She felt like she was wrong. He, betrayed her trust and all that. But that doesn't justify her shooting him at that point in time. She shouldn't get off for that. Like it's not that simple. Now, if she would have caught him in the act, walked into the daycare, and he was right there in the act with the kid, then go ahead, shoot, blow his brains out, whatever. You know what I mean? But that's going to be on her. She's going to have to deal with whatever comes with that. Hopefully, there is some leniency based on the situation. But I don't think that should affect her in a way of ever trusting anybody ever again. You know what I mean? You're just going to have to be a little bit more vigilant.
It's premeditated. You took a road trip, right, and you took a gun with you, and then you waited till you got to the hotel to shoot him. You could say you were getting more and more upset as you go along, but then the question is, well, why did you bring a gun? And then,
but is she a licensed carrier?
She says she carried, and they both. He's a former cop, so he carries too. Go ahead.
Understood, but that's what I'm saying. But if you knew this was going to be, if you knew this was a problem, going out and you're bringing your gun with you, now you have to prove that like you didn't have intention on shooting him, which it doesn't make sense because you end up shooting him. So it's like you brought your gun with you on this trip just in case things went left with him.
Man, you know that's simple. That's simple. I always bring my gun with me. That's it. That's all I would say.
But if you knew about this before you left and you brought your gun with you, you have to now prove that like you didn't bring your gun for that reason this time. I mean, that's what I'm saying. It's about how it's played out. Yeah. But it's, if I'm not mistaken, the situation is still considered an allegation because they're trying to find proof of what happened. I think for her, it was more of the shame and embarrassment that it happened on her watch than it was the actual thing. So even when they were saying,
understandable though?
No, it's understandable, okay. But it's like you shot him because you're saying, how could you do this to me? You
right
in this situation. Now I have to face these parents. I can't believe like these kids came to me with this and I didn't know. And then in her note, it was like, I'm so sorry I didn't know. It's more about like your embarrassment than it is about the anger. Mm-hmm. And even like her saying like she shot him because he was coming towards her, like trying to like get out of the room or something because she was yelling at him. So he's trying to get out of the room, coming towards you, and you shoot him. It's
right. Not because you were in danger.
That's what I'm saying. At that point, it's not even self-defense. And it's a lot of the problem happening right now is like a lot of her talking is before any of this evidence starts coming out. So she's saying a lot. And it's just,
so she was arrested. You know what I mean? So we do know she was arrested. She barricaded herself in the room. They got him out of there. Do we think, so y'all do think that she should have been arrested for it?
Absolutely.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You shot somebody.
Okay. Well,
regardless.
What you got, Bug?
This is my thing. Now, I already know if she did a statement or, well, except for what Shadi spoke with.
She did a statement. She wrote a letter and left the letter in the hotel room.
I have two questions. They said you've been questioning him, or you kept questioning him on your trip. what was your intention? Okay, if he said yes, I did it, would you still have shot? Like, what was the intention going to be? What was your intent on keeping asking? Because that falls right under premeditated. Like, what were you going to do? Or what did you think the outcome would be? Why would you keep questioning if you didn't have another motive? Number two, I want to be clear. Did you shoot him because he did that to the kids? Or did you shoot him because of how that affects you and your income and your money and everything else? What was your principle behind it? Because
is that a principle that can be both though? Because of the fact that like you should be able to like, because the level of trust when you have a partner or a spouse, you should be able to trust your partner, right? So you wouldn't like, you would feel like people get embarrassed when their spouses are in the paper for something stupid. Like if you're in the paper for a downtown brawl, let alone molestation, and it was multiple children and multiple parents who called her before she just went with the allegations. It wasn't just one. I think it was like 3 or 4. You know what I mean? So
I think that goes back to what Books is saying. It's like if it's the allegations and that's the problem, you call the cops, you report them, you leave. Right.
She didn't turn him in.
You call the cops and you leave. Like she decided she was going to shoot him because of the personal embarrassment of the situation. That was no longer about the situation. It's like, this is what you've done to me and I have nothing else to lose.
And the reason I say that is because it's twofold. Well, number one, let me backtrack to the question you asked me. Can that fall under both? Yes, but let me ask you a question. Mm-hmm. If your girl cheated on you, you gonna feel some type of way, right?
Yes.
All right. Now, if your girl cheated on you with your best friend, does that not up it or not?
It does.
That's what I'm saying. It's a different level. It's 2 different principles. She could have been more outraged the fact that he did it to the kid versus what he did to her, or she could have been more outraged at the fact that he messed her up and the kids too, but the kids could have been secondary. But
can we also?
Either way.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're good. Either way, what I'm saying is this: either way, she did what she did, and there is no justification, no matter how you felt, for taking justice in your own hands, unless. And I'm gonna put this point out there. Some people might not even be thinking about. If I shoot him myself, then maybe I can redeem my daycare, and people know I didn't have nothing to do with it fully.
You're still going to jail.
That might be it.
You're still going to jail.
We're going to also look at the fact that he's a former police officer. Does that have anything to do with it, you think?
Former? So, like saying as if you try to go tell the cops, they ain't going to believe it because he used to be a cop?
Yeah, I mean, people...
or he get more lenient.
But, you know... But I think it's one of those situations where even if that's the case, you still have to try to say that I made the attempt to do something and y'all didn't do anything.
Okay.
So I like to justify people shooting people and not killing them for like reasons that are like over the top. I try to justify it for them, but it's like, this is hard to justify. If it was at the house and he came in the house and they got into an argument in the house and she shot him, different story. You went on a road trip with the dude, knowing everything that you knew when you left for the road trip. And then you try to get a confession out of him. And because he wasn't giving it to you, you got upset when he was trying to leave and you shot him.
So do y'all think that she would have shot him if she wasn't the owner of the daycare? Let's say she didn't work anywhere. So if there were allegations that he was molesting children and she was trying to get this information out of him, did you do it? And like it didn't affect her. It didn't affect her job. She just wants to know, did you do this? And then, for
instance, he's a cop and he's molesting children while at work, and it has nothing to do with her job.
Right. Yeah. Well, she still shot him.
Nah, she would have left.
She probably would have left, but I don't think she would have shot him.
She would have shot him. She would have left.
So that goes back to Boogs' whole thing.
Yeah. She shot him because of her.
For both. Yeah. Because I think the children, because it takes a special person to, you know what I mean, to have a daycare. And like you said, I'm not taking the fact that she didn't care about those children. Right. I think that as a protector of children, like you said, it was for her. Like, how could you do this to me as my partner? Mm-hmm. But also, you damage, because that's another thing. Like, these kids are going to have life like a lifehood of trauma with this that they got to deal with. Like, you know what I mean? Like the parents, like there's a bigger, like outcry for this. Like, after things go down, like it's gonna be like when all this settles for him and her, these kids got to go through life with this. You know what I mean? It's gonna be new kids with new baggage. Parents that ain't gonna be able to trust. Go ahead.
So maybe take the whole idea that this was her business that was destroyed and this was something that was done to her. Take that out of it, right? Because there are people, for example, him going to jail, and let's say he's convicted of it. Him going to jail, he may get to jail for one, him being an ex-cop and being a child molester. He's going to have a hard time in there, right? And it's not because he messed up any of these people in jail's business. It's because he messed with children. So it doesn't necessarily mean that she was mad because it was her business. It was because the fact that he was messing with kids. You know what I mean? So you can't just say that she was angry because her reputation is bad now. I think you can. I could prove. I feel like they could prove that wasn't the case. I think that would be easy. Yeah, I think that was easy. That part's easy. But either way, it doesn't justify her shooting him. You know what I mean? But I feel like there should be some type of leniency to a certain extent. She shouldn't get the book thrown at her.
I don't think she should get the book, but you definitely get like reckless endangerment or something.
Yeah.
What should she get? Should she do any jail time?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
You shot somebody.
No.
I mean, it don't matter.
Nope.
Why should she get jail time, Bub?
Simple. Because we are living in a society now where there's a lot of children with trauma and things like that. And I get it. She's violated on so many levels, and he also violated other people. And to PJ's point, yeah, he's going to go to jail and do that, but she has to live out here in society with that scar and that stigma. And like the book is one point where she sit there and shot him. That might be the thing. Like, oh, she didn't have nothing to do with that. You know what I mean? Like, yo, I want y'all to know.
But then
I didn't do that. Like,
but then that gives justification for anybody that goes in that situation.
That's vigilante justice, and that's very dangerous.
Yeah, you can't do that. Her ass is going to jail.
4 allegations, because like you said, what's going to happen is they have charged him. So we do know that they charged him, but he's still recuperating in the hospital. So what happens when they find out that if his allegations, like obviously what they looked into, if they charged him, they believe what was said. They already did their due diligence and spoke to these families. So if they felt comfortable charging him while he's in the hospital, we know that they believe what it is. It's going to help her case. Am I right?
Help her case for what?
Help
her case with what? Shooting him?
Oh, because she's charged,
for shooting him?
Yeah.
Nah, you go to jail. You shot somebody.
She shouldn't go to jail.
She shouldn't have shot him.
She's going to get like 10 years probation.
Nah. Yeah. She get 5 years probation.
Nah, because that makes it, that's what I'm saying. It makes it too easy. It makes it too easy for everybody else. The moment somebody's kids say such and such touched me, I can shoot you. And now I have precedence off this last case that y'all did that I should only get probation.
Would it be okay?
Go ahead.
Would it be okay for one of the women that accused Deshaun Watson, one of their boyfriends, to come and shoot him because of what he allegedly did?
That's a good point.
Here's the thing. She got paid off it. These kids are talking about trauma.
It don't matter.
It doesn't matter.
The massage therapist. The massage therapists were getting paid before the massages were happening. They're
getting paid to do a massage.
They're getting paid to still be in there in the room, right? I get that. And in his cases, like you said, they vary. We're talking about helpless children here. You know what I mean? And molestation is a big thing. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
so should Simone Biles' dad be able to go and shoot the trainer from the Olympics?
Who, Larry Vesser? They should have been killed that motherfucker.
That's what I'm saying. So he should be able to shoot him and just go back home.
Yeah.
Yo, this ain't the time to kill, fam.
And all the people that covered it up. That's why everybody's ducking and hiding now.
But that's what I'm saying. If you make that the allowable response,
it makes people think about what they go do.
Nah, there's no justice. But then it goes from there to everywhere else. Like if I feel like I'm offended by you, I can now shoot you. If I feel like you've done something that goes against morality, I should be able to shoot you.
Because they're not going to stop it at just children.
It doesn't stop there. It's whatever's next.
But you know what, fellas? Either way, there's no way you gonna tell me that grown woman in her mind, and I gotta be ready to go. That grown woman in her mind did not realize or think about these consequences before she did what she did. So I think just the simple fact that she pulled off the act is like, whatever comes is gonna come. And we just
That's not true. That's not true. Everybody that shoots people, they don't think about consequences.
No,
if that was the case, jails wouldn't even be full.
I'm not saying everybody. I'm speaking on her. I'm speaking on this isolated incident right here. This one woman that kept asking this man, they knew she had a gun. Soon as she got what she wanted, he could have left the room. She could have let him leave the room. She could have turned him in. She could have told whoever she wanted to. She knew what she was doing.
No, like, if anything, she might have thought that she was justified.
She definitely.
But I don't think. But I don't think she was like, oh, if I go to jail, I'll go to jail. I think she thinks, oh, I'm justified for what I'm doing at the most. But like,
yeah, it's.
But at the end of the day, we still gotta wait to see how it turns out.
So we all disagree. I think she should be 2 years probation. Y'all think jail time?
I think jail time.
I plead the fifth. I'm like.
But not, you said she shot him. She shot him in the head, right?
Yeah, head and leg.
Right. That's the headshot's attempted murder.
The leg was after the fact.
The leg shot, that I get it. I get the leg shot. The headshot, that's attempted murder. You ain't supposed to live after that. And then she said, but then she wrote in the letter like, "I wish I killed you. I wish you died." Like that's attempted murder, cuz.
I completely agree with you. Like, I believe that she tried to kill that motherfucker, but
this is my thing.
Like, I completely agree with you. Like, she definitely tried to kill that motherfucker, but it didn't.
I think it makes a difference which she shot him first. If she shot him in the leg and then he fell to the ground, then she shot him in the head, then that's attempted murder.
Yeah. PJ, that sounds like some mob movie shit. Like, you know,
she shot him in the head.
He was lunging at her, and she was so scared. All she had to say is she was scared while he lunged at her, and she just fired.
I'm not buying that.
Well, you might.
Yeah, but how do you go from scared to down?
She's not scared. She wasn't scared of him. She wasn't afraid.
Yeah.
There's no way. She's not afraid. She had her gun. She was ready. She wanted to smoke. She was ready.
Well, y'all see what we think about the subject. So let us know what y'all think.